Something wild just happened in the so-called alpha male universe. UFC fighter Kevin Holland has officially clapped back at Wes Watson. And this isn't just some online spat. We're talking about public insults, racist language, prison slang, and a full-blown crash of Wes's carefully built online persona. But what makes this feud different is that it might just be the thing that finally exposes Wes Watson for who he really is. And trust me, it's not a good look. Before we dive headfirst into this explosion of drama, you have to understand the man behind it all. Wes Watson made his name by preaching hardcore discipline, alpha male energy, and straight-from-prison life lessons. He sells himself as a savage, a warrior who beat the odds. But behind the grunts and gravelly monologues is a man who's been building his brand on controversy. Watson calls his fan base the AMU, the Alpha Male Universe, and they treat him like a prophet. But over the years, cracks have started to show. From misogynistic rants to disrespecting anyone who questions him, Wes has been walking a tightrope. And now, he may have finally slipped. It all started with one reckless claim. Wes said something that instantly rubbed the MMA world the wrong way. That UFC fighters are basically square, rule-following nerds who only fight in the Matrix. You know, the kind of guys who'd lose in a real street fight. Obviously, that didn't sit well with actual fighters, and especially not Kevin Holland. He saw the post, called it out publicly, and that's when everything exploded. Holland slid into Wes Watson's Instagram story with the comment, "Damn comments off. You going to rant then turn into a little kitty cat?" Wes fired back, "Comments aren't off, you slow emperor. You gotta follow the comment. Got something to say? Crybaby." It was petty, it was messy, and it was just the beginning. Kevin Holland didn't stop. He upped the ante, challenging Wes to fights in Miami. Beach fights, bar fights, house fights. Holland was dead serious. Then he roasted Wes's girl, saying, "Your girl, hot." Wes fired back with something strange. "She don't like toads. Nobody does." At first, it sounded like a weird insult. Toad? What even is that? But when people started digging, they found out something disturbing. The term toad isn't just a weird playground insult. It turns out it's a coded racial slur used in prisons, especially in the South and Midwest, aimed at black people. According to multiple ex-convicts and prison community forums, it's common knowledge inside the system. Wes might have tried to slide it under the radar, but the internet caught it instantly. And that wasn't all. Clips resurfaced of Wes Watson mocking black people, using racist language like the hard R, calling people monkeys, and claiming that only urban folk talk about going 50-50 in relationships. He even used that tired, hateful stereotype about black fathers being absent. It wasn't just one comment, it was a pattern. One quote stood out more than the rest. "Nobody gives a fuck about people like you, Monkey Jojo jumping around." He said this on camera, with his full chest, and somehow people are still defending him. The backlash hit fast. Reddit, Twitter, YouTube comments. People started calling Wes out. But something weird happened. In every thread, a small army of Watson defenders showed up. They called themselves things like West Knights, die-hard AMU fans who seem ready to excuse literally anything. These guys started attacking critics, saying it was all taken out of context, or that Watson was just being raw. But let's be real, how much rawness are you willing to excuse before it turns into plain old hate? Even the Bubba community, which has always been open to wild debates, wasn't buying it. People were waking up to the truth. Wes Watson wasn't just an edgy internet alpha. He was a full-blown liability. Kevin Holland stayed cool. While Wes spiraled, Kevin kept poking him with humor and casual roasts. Wes was clearly rattled. He said things like, "Fuck is the matter with you, little boy? People where I'm from don't fight, they win. Get out of my DMs, you broke." And Kevin, he just laughed, called it out, never took the bait fully. That's the difference between a guy who's confident and a guy desperately holding on to a crumbling image. Then, Wes delivered the final crash-out moment, calling Holland another slur and challenging him with, "Think you're gonna miss for me, skinny little?" It was desperate, unhinged, and above all, it showed just how much this alpha male actually fears being exposed. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Some people, including content creator John Bravo, have said we shouldn't even cover this. That by giving Wes attention, we're helping him. And yeah, that's a fair point. Wes wants the spotlight. He thrives on controversy. But here's the thing. Silence helps people like him. Ignoring racism doesn't make it disappear. It lets it spread. Calling this stuff out isn't about feeding trolls. It's about drawing a line. Because when guys like Wes Watson go unchecked, their message grows. And their fans start thinking that behavior is normal. It's not. And for the record, this isn't beef with John Bravo. The guy's a professional. He's a friend of the community. But sometimes even friends disagree. And that's okay. Here's where it gets crazy. Wes isn't just beefing with Kevin Holland. He's also gotten heat from Sean Strickland and Jorge Masvidal, two other real-deal fighters who aren't afraid to call BS when they see it. What started as an online post has turned into a full-on collapse. The AMU is cracking. UFC fighters, prison communities, former fans, they're all turning on Wes. And the question is no longer, can Wes defend himself? It's, how long before his empire crumbles entirely? If you made it this far, drop a comment below. Do you think Wes Watson's finished? Or will his fans keep defending him no matter what? And if you're tired of fake alpha behavior, hit that like button. Smash subscribe if you're new, because this story is far from over. And we'll be following every twist and turn right here. Stay sharp, stay aware, and watch out for fake leaders. Catch you in the next one.